let's see. Oh, whoops, I'm on the wrong character. That's all right. Oh, and we are live. Let's see if that's working. Question. Oh, that's not going to work. All right, that's working. Let's see. That's working. 5 minutes to go. That's not the character that I want to be on. I have no idea what's going on here. Well, we had... Ah, there we go.
Yep. Hey, welcome back.
Oh, that's right. I'm out of arrows. Let's see. Let me check to see how the server published. Okay, the server reports are going live right now. So in 4 minutes, there will be new horses available. This is if you patch up to 1300. The new build that just went live. I do not have patch notes. I just realized I did not do patch notes yesterday. I apologize for that. I think everybody knew that was a get that done as quick as possible and get it out there to you guys to fix a annoying but not really horrible exploit, which is you could cast nearly insta-cast stuff off your toolbar. And it would let you. The server would throttle it, but other than that, but the only thing that it lets you do is it lets you spend experience points. It did not give you experience, but it let you expend experience points so you could advance some skills more quickly. I did check. There were only a couple people who really were gratuitous with it, and one of those two people had no experience to spend and clearly did not understand what they were doing. So. But anyways, it just saved them a couple hours of macroing if they're going to be that type of exploiter. Hold on. Deploying. Almost ready. Getting close. Doot. Dun 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 dun. Azazel Reborn. So players actually reported it when we were doing testing on the breach, and I tried, put something on my bar and used it, and it's like, well, it turned gray. Oh, and Sir Frank, thank you for starting us off in an amazing way. We have an empty chair that used to contain Richard with us today, along with a Ravalox, but that bug was actually reported by the testers on the breach. But I actually tried it on my bar. And the thing was, I tried it, and it's like, what are they talking about? It's all grayed out, it's got the cooldown, whatever. I didn't realize that if you just kept pounding the key, even though it had the cooldown, it had the heat, that it wouldn't happen. So then the other thing was, I saw it at the very last minute what had actually happened. But I noticed that, okay, well, it's not really going to let them do anything, because it actually was generating the heat, and consuming a ton of focus. So like if I click this light button, I could click it 10 times, but because there was so much heat generated on it, the focus increased a ton. So it's taking like 2,000 focus, and I was like, okay, well they can't really do it any quicker because they still have that heat problem. But it turns out if you pound it fast, it was not actually consuming the focus. So that was how that one snuck through. Is I thought it was actually, because it looked just like this. If you see the skill down there, that's exactly what it looked like. It's just if you kept pounding it, it would actually trigger it again before it finished cooling down. So. And as you see from the Apple II up there, Richard will be joining us here shortly. He was with us a minute ago. Okay, 4 o'clock. I'll wait for Richard to get back and then I'll do the intros.
Oh, hey, I'm back.
All right, ready to get started here. Greetings, Avatar. Thank you for joining us today. We've been punishing Elgarion by making him be on every stream, and then we finally realized why do we do that, because he also does a stream himself usually if he's feeling up for it. And also he's like the only guy who actually wants to go out and do stuff on a Friday night because he's got a girlfriend. We do not. Wives or nothing. So anyways, I just basically gave him the option of whenever you want to do it, and if not, I'm going to get somebody else to fill in. So fortunately, this week I had the opportunity, I shouted out on the channel, hey, who wants to do a live stream? And I had 2 takers. They're there. So happy to have you guys with us. As you guys know, yesterday was a release. It went pretty smooth. We had one nasty thing which we got a patch out for within just a couple hours. But other than that, looking pretty good. There's still a few horse bugs. I'll show off a few here. A couple of those are already fixed internally, and I just have to get a patch out for you guys. The scene I'm in right now is live, but it's not really live. It's live in that I have it here for testing. So here's what I've done with it. So this is the new scene. For those who don't know about it, this is the new scene, The Breach. This is the hardest scene in the game. It is not intended to be soloable. What's wrong, bud? Sorry, my dog just got up and did a little. I think we've given him too many greenies today and his tummy's hurting. But it's not intended to be soloable. It is intended to be group content. There's actually some mechanics in there that will make it nearly impossible to do group or to do it solo. I think Vesper and somebody else, they were trying to do it with 2 guys. I think they're having trouble triggering it with 2 guys, but you can't get there. But the trigger mechanism, this is one of the things that is a limiting factor that will keep it from being a soloable scene. Hey, thank you very much, Richard, and Lancel, and Ozzy Questor, and Waldo Ptolemy, and of course Sir Frank, you rock. But anyways, to trigger this battle scene, there's actually 4 mini bosses here. Hey, thank you very much, Trokip. Oh, now we got a thing going. Oh, no, that's not a thing. I thought it was a hype train. If we get the hype train, we do extra rounds of prizes for those who didn't know. So if you're going to do... Oh, there's the hype train. Okay, for every level of hype train we complete, we do 1 extra round of prizes, just so you guys know. That's every one you complete. So if you complete level 1, we'll do 3 rounds of prizes a day. If you complete level 2, we'll do 4 rounds of prizes.
Yeah, every level 2. Wow.
Yeah, level 1 goes so fast, like it's nearly done already. But anyway, so there's, in this scene, the trigger mechanism for it, there's actually a big boss fight, but the trigger mechanism for it is there's 4 elemental lord type guys. Let me see if I can run over and spot some of these guys. That are pretty tough in their own right. Individually, they're, among the tougher creatures in the game. But to trigger the boss fight, you have to have all 4 of them dead at the same time. Once you get all 4 of them dead at the same time, then the boss fight can be started.
Oop, your audio went out there, Chris.
Mine did?
Yeah, we lost
Can you hear me? How about now?
Yeah, you're good now.
I can hear you, but you did
All
drop.
But anyway, so there are 4 elemental lords in this scene. To start the battle, you have to have all 4 of them dead. They have a respawn time of about 10 minutes. So if you're doing them solo, not only do you have to like kill them fast, but then you'd have to run to the next one fast. Again, this is one that I kind of expected. That's going to be like a challenge that people are going to see if they can do it solo. See if they can trigger the scene, the boss fight solo. I don't think you're going to be able to beat the actual boss fight solo just because individual players not going to have the DPS needed most likely. There's a lot of stuff going on in terms of getting enough DPS in there. And I will thank you guys all in a minute here, but if I thank you now, I'm just going to be stopping and not doing anything talking about the game. You guys won't be talking about the game. But anyway, so the current state of this scene is I got it done. As you guys know, we had a little bit of a team unexpected drag, which we've talked about in the past, and I won't bring up again. But I ended up working on a lot of stuff for mounts, trying to fix a lot of bugs for mounts, and did not get to work on this as much as I want to. It's actually done. We've actually had people testing it for the last week or so. Order of the Drunken Elders came in and did some good testing. We had Vespers and some other people join in. Alley Oop, I think, was helping test it. It is mostly ready. I'm confident enough to say it's ready enough that if you want to be summoned in here on live, I'll let you get summoned in here on live. Now, the one caveat to that that will make you say, well, why would I want to do that? So I know only real players who like want to come and test are going to come do it is I have not turned on the loot bundles for any of the boss mobs. So you could probably still get some decent loot in here because I can tell you a couple of these scenes, once you trigger it, will create wave battles, and there are demons in the wave battles, and demons have pretty good loot on their own. So it might be worth doing. It's not going to be the best experience in the game, like experience points. It may be the best experience in the game, but it's not going to be the best experience points, and it's not going to be the best loot in the game, but it's an interesting challenge. Once I let this run, probably over the weekend, I'll see if any exploits come up with like rapid firing triggering of the boss, rapid fire triggering of the other guys. And assuming that there's not anything that comes up like that, then I'm going to turn on the loot bundles for them probably on Monday or Tuesday. So those will be, there's actually 5 new items, 5 new artifacts, and then there's some devices that can be triggered, some consumables that you can trigger that do AE buffs for groups. But those will drop here. The boss will always drop at least one of the new items. He may always drop one of the new items in a higher level form, like a uncommon rather than a common. But anyways, but that's kind of the current state here. In fact, if you are out there right now and you want to send Chompy a tell in game right now, I should be visible. Let me do that. But if you send me a tell right now, I will summon you to this scene if you want to come here. Again, there's no official entrance to it. You've got to have a teleport scroll to get out. It has not been added to the map, so if you come here, you're going to be kind of trapped. But you're welcome to come join me in the scene if you want to bring your guild over and test it later, so you can help test it for this weekend. I need to have you guys kill the boss at least a couple times because I'm still trying to get balanced information and make sure there's no exploits. So again, feel free to send Chompy a tell, and I will summon you right on over. Let me make sure I have my tells on here. Yes, I should be able to receive that. And you know what? You're not going to be able to send me a tell because you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm on QA right now. Give me 1 minute. Hey, Richard. We have with us today Lord British himself and Ravalox. Richard, it's been probably a month or 3 weeks or so since we've seen you.
A few weeks, yeah.
Why don't you give us your updates? You always have exciting stories. Give us an update.
Well, let's see. Other than most of life's been pretty mundane actually for me, as it has been probably for most people that are to some significant degree sequestered at home and playing Mr. Mom, family, mom, dad, both parties. No buses are working. Our kids are in school, but no buses are working. So I'm driving them to school, and our friends are driving them back from school. They're in the same class, and boy, does that keep us all busy. And I'm sure it keeps everybody else busy, very, very busy too. But I am very excited about the latest release because of the mounts at long last. This is something we've wanted in since the very beginning. I literally just patched up. I'm about to enter the game myself. So by the way, take this as my my request to be summoned into the new map when you get over there.
All right.
But back on the game front too, for those, I know a lot of people have been asking me about the book of late. I know the Ravalox is. We thought we were completely done with all the editing. It turns out the editor found a mismatch between a couple of the files that we had submitted. So I know you're kind of cleaning that up right now. But that should all be over to them shortly. And then once that the publisher has adopted it, then we should be able to get something about a publication date. So, anyway, it's all cruising along. But I am looking forward to checking out the mounts that I'm hoping we see today. And since I am now in game, just outside of the Brightbone Pass at the moment, hopefully I'll get summoned over and get a chance to come tour it like you all do too.
Okay, now I'm here. Now if you want to send me a tell, if you want to come over here and test this out, it sounds like you may get to test it out with Lord British. Just send me a tell.
And Thoric Omara, thank you for the friend request. That's a thing I haven't done for a while is let people know when I'm online and playing like this. Send me a friend request. I like to be everyone's friend in the game because that way when I jump in, I've got plenty of people to go adventuring with. So if you see me pop in the game, feel free to say, hey, free for a run around. And that's usually what I'm doing is jumping into play myself. And there's nothing I love better than to go out on adventures with folks. So if you do /friend Lord British, I will become your friend. Hey, speaking of phrases of the day, what is the phrase for the day?
I love fall most of all.
I love fall most of all. Hey, yes, Charlie, and as Modi Mool. Thank you also for the friend request. Once I finish teleporting here, I will respond to those.
And I'll send you the command to create a horse for yourself, Richard.
Thank you. And Blaze Garsenk, thank you for the friend request as well.
All right. Here comes.
There we go. I see people. And Mika Oda. Thank you for the friend request.
And again, just send a whisper to Chompy, not Atos. I'm on Chompy right now, but send a whisper to Chompy if you want. I've already got 3 people coming or on the way over. But again, the thing to know is the scene is here. It's been tested. It's not. I don't know of any major bugs right now. The only thing I want to make sure is that there's not any major bugs. Oh, how did we do on the hype train? Did that end?
It might have ended when I was talking. I meant to catch it and try to bump it up, but maybe I'll have to get it started here again.
Okay, well, I think I owe everybody a bunch of thanks. Level so we did 2, so we'll get 2.
No, level 3. Yeah,
so we got to do 4.
Level 2.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and start the first prize drawing because we have to do 4 of them, which means we need to start now.
Get the prize nader running.
Okay, it's going now. All right, so what I would advise for anyone who wants to come to this scene, this is not a scene for newbies, like the individual guys out there, the mini bosses are in the neighborhood of, trying to think what would be on the same level. They're tougher than like fighting like a Torque doll or something like that, or a boss troll type thing. They're tougher than like a demon. If you can't solo, like a big dragon or something like that, then you're probably not going to have much luck over here. But you can contribute, as Coswald the Girthmire is going to do.
I have the game running, but of course I also have Twitch up, and I was trying to click in the Twitch window to drive my character since I was standing next to you.
Yes.
And it took me a little while to realize I was in the wrong window to drive.
Let's see, here we got another one coming. But anyway, so you can come and contribute no matter what your level is. This is one of those where it's not intended to be soloable, it's intended to be group content. Again, my goal was to make each of the mini bosses, so either you're like really, really, really good, like one of the top players in the game, and maybe you can solo most of them. But really, it's intended to take 2 to 4 players to take on each one of the mini bosses. Now, if you can take on the mini bosses, you come over here and you try it, and you're like, I can take a mini boss, I can do this, I'll just try and get through them quick. Well, know that, like, in the final challenge once you kill all of them, then basically the thing you have to do is get down here to this center part. And once you get to the center area here and all the bosses are dead, then it will start the wave battle. So then once the wave battle starts, I think it's the second wave, is basically each one of those mini bosses you just fought. It's all of those guys at the same time. Just to give you a ballpark of what the second wave of this is like. The second wave is like all the mini bosses at once, plus like maybe 4 demons, some power crystals that have to be destroyed, and some other stuff going on. Maybe some extra elementals. So we're not talking about something easy here. It would be tough just to keep up DPS wise. Even if you could pull them one at a time and solo them, it would still be a challenge. Now there are some areas.
Look at that! The person they're riding on a unicorn already. Look at that! Looks so
That's
nice.
right. I need to give you a command. They're riding on a unicorn and with a pet unicorn.
Oh yes, a double unicorn.
Oh, that's good.
You must be a very virtuous person.
You probably have crowns, Richard. You can just go to the store and buy them. I don't actually have to tell you a command. If you don't have crowns, let me just give you crowns.
Hang on, I'll do that. Hang on a second. Let me go to the crown shop.
This is... I forget which of these two are new. I think the zombie horse is new in the patch that I just put out. You guys can verify. And I think maybe the skeleton horse. So
the zombie and the skeleton are new.
Those were the two that they just
Right.
got in. So
yeah. Was there something with the nightmare also? I thought I saw something in there, but the nightmare was already in the game, right?
yeah, I think the nightmare's already in the game. But anyways, there's now 10, 11, 12, 13 mounts in there, so you can fill your stable with them. Also, I know that there's going to be some questions about it. Can you tame mounts? So yes, Sanyo is nearly done with the quest to make it so when you have a tamed horse, now this will only work, there's only like a handful of them that'll work. You can't turn a unicorn, like a tamed unicorn or tamed nightmare in, but there's a handful of horses, like 3 or 4, I forget what they are.
Yeah.
Do you remember which ones
How
they
do
were?
you ride your
They're
mount?
3 of the basic horse types.
Palomino, I think
You use
Bay, and maybe the Dun.
But there's 3 of them that you'll be able to tame them, and then there's a quest you do where you basically, and I think it's an easy quest. I think it's basically like, go to this dude and talk to him and give him the thing, and he'll turn it into a tamed horse. He will break the horse for you, I think is what the quest is about.
How do I ride my skeleton horse mount?
You can use it. You can either put it in your toolbar. You can do whatever you want to.
Well, double clicking on it didn't work, so hang on. Let's put that toolbar here.
But anyways, again, we got a lot of stuff to talk about
Nice.
here. Whoop, I got a bunch of people who backed up on me here. Hold on.
Oh, this is so nice.
There's one.
Oh, these
There's
things
2.
cruise too, man. It's a way to travel.
3.
And then you could go to
There we
the
go.
Master Tactics
4 more
Trainer and learn mount skills, and even boost your gallop speed more.
Yeah, and that's one actually I'm working on. One of the most disappointing things for me as a player, like when I play, is we have the sprint skill that's in there. And it's so close to the level of the normal movement speed.
Yeah.
Normal movement versus sprint is not that different. So anyways, that's I'm looking at that too to try to come up with something that'll be similar to what the horse sprint is. So you can have a sprint skill that'll be a tactic skill that you'll be able to increase, that will increase your sprint speed. So it's more, I looked at it, it's 20% increase over what your normal speed is.
Oswald Dirthmere, thank you.
Nice.
Uriah Kulas, thank you for the request.
Something I will tell you also, if you look right here, I'm pointing out bugs, which artists would be mad, but it's a code bug. If you see Richard's hands don't quite match up, and this varies from player to player is how much it doesn't match up, that bug is actually fixed internally so that it will match up exactly in the next one. So if you already reported that as a bug, don't worry, that's getting fixed. It's fixed internally already. Just hasn't been pushed out in a patch.
Hey, this might be a good time to bring up the fact that the player community as well as the team worked together in conjunction to work on the mounts and make sure that they were as bug-free as possible.
Yes, and there's still a few bugs to fix. I know I've got a sound bug, and I've got one more little scaling bug that is when you get off the horse, you don't go back to the correct scale in some cases. But yeah, I wanted to call those guys out too because I think we got them and we tested them. It's like, here's a couple of bugs for you to fix, one and only. And then we turned it over to the players, and they said, here's 13 bugs that you guys totally missed that need to be turned over to the players. So huge thanks to all the testers, and that's part of why it actually went as smooth as it did. We still have some more to fix, but fairly bug-free, getting close. And now I gotta watch my chat here to see if I'm missing anybody. Oh yeah, and if you get a summon now, you're just gonna be in the middle of whatever. So probably with this many people, you guys will likely be able to Zerg everything. Well, of course, Richard's here, so... right there's one bug. We need to figure out that one. That's one that you don't see. I don't think you see it locally. I think it's only remotely. But we will be getting that
would you like me to read out the first round of prizing?
Yes, and I need to kick off another one. Why don't you go for it?
All right. So, hey, the first winner of the I Like Fall Best of All prize round, one of 4 so far for this evening, the Ornate Spider Legs Cloak is going to go to Galorn Hammerthrow. Galorn Hammerthrow, congratulations. Woo-hoo. The Spider Web Cloak goes to Sarion. The Woven Spiderweb Cloak goes to Denny Crane. The Zombie Statue goes to Scan4. And the Rustic 2-story village home goes to Brenham Spellcaster. Congratulations, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, to be the first round of prizing winners of this evening.
And I will tell you, one bug report I've had on this scene is that there's something that makes your frame rate drop over in this corner that I've got to go hunting for. Did they already kill the boss over here? Did I miss it?
So prepare.
Oh no, there's boss.
How do you get off your mount?
Escape or use any skill. So I can tell you, you'll be seeing some of this. You can come discover for yourself, and I'm sure the players will figure out some more strategies. These guys do have some abilities that you haven't seen in creatures before. They also have some behaviors that you haven't seen in creatures before. This is just one of the 4 bosses out there. And again, with this much Zerg power, they're going to be able to take this guy without too much difficulty. But 2 of them are very... Two of them are very resistant to physical attacks. This guy's one of them. And 2 of them are very resistant to magical attacks. I'm going to step away from the combat there so people don't have to hear the... Oh, that was Richard doing that. Okay, Richard's muted himself. But you can see, even with this level of number of people on it, he is still taking quite a while to kill. So these are not trivial things. Again, though, somebody has already soloed this guy, I believe. So, no, you can't be the first one to do it. But, again, I fully expect this to turn into something like the challenge dungeon where, over time, players will try to see who can solo it and then who can solo it the quickest. But this is one of the 4 lords. The other 3 lords are actually a little bit... Oh, hold on, I gotta summon some people. The other 3 are probably a little easier than this dude. Thinking. Okay. But anyways, so the 4 lords, each of those guys have some things they're weak to, as you can imagine, with them being earth, air, fire, and water. I'll let you try and figure out what those things are. But it's not too hard to guess what they are. But once you kill those guys, then it opens up the trigger for the wave battle to begin in here. Then the wave battle in here is tougher than any wave battle you've seen out there before. Again, right now, the bosses don't have loot. After this weekend, I will probably turn it on. Trying to figure out why I'm drinking every time I get hit. I sure hope this
we actually have a bug report for this.
Oh.
Whenever you get hit in combat, you perform the last emote that you did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's good. That was the last one I did. I did a drink a potion. That's good. Okay, is that in the latest build or was that in the previous? Is that since live or since the patch?
Yeah, no, it was prior to that. We found it on QA. It just didn't make it into the queue.
All right. Well, that sounds like one I'm going to fix this weekend because that is both humorous, but I'm sure will also become annoying over time.
Yeah.
But fairly harmless, not going to block play. All right, we'll see if people come over here. So battle's not triggering, so 4 guys are not all dead at the same time. Let's see.
Was one of them a shock monkey guy?
No, that's not a boss mob. These are much tougher than shock monkey. These are the elemental lords that you'll... I can probably fly around here. Let me... Do.
Cheater.
I should get a horse, but I don't have a horse in this one. Let's see, is this one over here? Yep, so Pyre's still up, so I'm not getting in until Pyre's dead. Looks like the air boss might already be down.
See a bunch of little fire minions here.
Oh no, Gale is here. Gale is really hard to see, I forgot. And yes, I'm proud of all the little names that I came up with for these guys. See, that's Gale. Get it? Air, yeah.
Get it.
Pyre for fire. Rock.
Fire.
Yeah. And then I'm going to guess they already took out the water guy because that's where they're coming from over here. The water would be somewhere right down... No, it's over here somewhere. But anyways, once they get all those guys down at the same time, and again, they have about a 10-minute respawn. Yep. There's the dead boss. Didn't even bother taking the loot from the boss. But once you get them all down at the same time, then it will trigger, you can trigger the wave battle at the middle. Then the wave battle starts and...
You gotta do something to make it trigger?
Yep. Once... All you have to do, it works just like normal wave battle, but it won't start until all 4 are down at the same time, and then someone comes over here and gets within the region. But the region on it's pretty loud, or pretty large. I think the region for it to start it might go as far as like over here or something like that. It's more than just the very center area. But you'll know when it starts. Some of the polished stuff I want to do for the scene is to put in some feedback. So it like makes scene announcements when different guys die, so you know when certain guys are dying. Because if you're working as a group, I mean, obviously you can announce it. GM Ghost. Oh wait, I can't do GM Ghost because if I do that, people can't whisper me anymore. Oh, looks like Richard's going to stand in the middle here and wait for it to start.
That's what I'm here for. You got it, exactly.
But anyway, so this is the new scene. This is a new challenge in there. This is also a new mechanic. I've got another version of this that's going to be coming to the shadow scene that I can never remember its name. Bramble. Hey, it looks like they triggered it. Looks like the last guy just died. I think there might...
Obsidian stones have just arrived.
I think there might be a 30-second delay. Don't attack me. I think there might be a 30-second delay between the start when the last guy dies and when they start, but it may be immediate.
A lot of chaos demons in here.
Yes, there are. I'm going to go ahead and go up to a place where I can watch, but not be in the way. Let's see. But anyway, so this will be, it's a multi-wave battle again. This is not for individuals. This is not solo content. This is meant to be group content, and at that high-level group content. Now, there's at least 30 players in here from the last time I looked on the metrics board. So this will probably go pretty quick for them and make it look easy, but we'll see.
Those unicorns too, man.
But anyway, so that's one of the things that came with this release. Again, the Shadow Battle, I'll see if I get it live in the next few days. I might have it live by next week, but it's on par with this. It's actually a bigger, wider thing in that the number, it's similar, has a mechanic that's similar to the Spider Queen, but kind of in a different way, in that the power of the boss is dependent upon the total number of shadow creatures. Probably I'm going to do the number of shadow creatures in the entire scene. So it will be one that you could solo it, or not solo it, you could kill it, but it'd take a lot of effort, and it will probably be at a power level of like one-hitting people if you do not do some effort to clean out some of the creatures in the scene. But this one's live-ish now. Again, it's live. It does not have a way to get in except for being summoned by me right now. Although I say that's one of those things now that I've brought people in here. You guys will be able to get in. All you have to do is find someone who's in the scene and they'll help you get into the scene.
As long as it's not ever completely vacated, I presume.
No, they'll be able to get in because they discover.
Okay.
Yeah, they discover the point, and then they can.
Yeah, so
I said
there is
so
a
they can
discovery
teleport
point,
to it.
so then they're okay.
Yes, so then they can come back, and then once you have one person in here, then you can party up with them, and then you can party summon over. This is one of those things I hadn't thought through completely the first time I ever did this, which I think might have been for Tartarus or some map like that, where I was like, I'll just bring you guys over, and then when you leave, and but of course then I look back later. Yeah, then I look back later that day, and it's like, oh look, there's like 40 people in there now. But anyways, this scene's live. Come and try it now if you want to. The loop will go live probably Monday if we don't find any bugs. The main bug I'm concerned about is a way to re-trigger the boss scene without doing the work to trigger the boss scene. The scene, it should be re-triggerable, but my fear is, and I could not do it, but my fear is just knowing how the timing on things works, that you could restart the boss fight, kill the boss, and then restart the boss fight without doing the work to clear the mini bosses. And I'm trying to, his loot is going to be, again, he's going to be guaranteed to have at least one of the new items on him. As you guys might have guessed, I put in some items that help with horsemanship, that make you a better horse rider. So there's a couple of those that'll be on there. There's one that is purely a tank item. And I forget what the other ones are. I've handed those out to other players though in QA though and had them test them. So, but anyways, that's that. For those who are wondering about the mount stuff, Did I turn off? There we go. So here's the new trees for the mounts. So this is one that, again, I talked about this before. It's kind of, I tried to toss back and forth like what to do with it. One of the things we determined, really talked through and decided on the mounts is that they're not a combat thing, so they're not really a power thing. They are a convenience thing. They allow you to carry more, they allow you to move faster, but you can't do any of them in combat. So really all you're doing is saving yourself a little time when you're out of combat, traveling between maps, getting from point A to point B, getting into a town, jumping on your horse so you can get to town quicker, whatever you're doing.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah?
Drag your skills window down a little bit. Richard's covering it up.
Oh. Wow, trying to pin the blame on Richard, huh? Man, that guy's always in the way. Yeah, so these are new skills that are on there here. These are totally, again, as optional gets. These will help you with the out of combat stuff, which is the horsemanship stuff, but it'll help you move faster on the horse, and it will help you carry a little more on the horse. It'll help your sprint speed a little bit more on the horse. The sprint speed on the horse is already boosted, and so yeah, if you use a horse, you can try it out and see. It's one that I'm going to be tuning. These are going to be set to 100% experience return until basically I say the numbers are final, which will probably be at the end of November time frame. And I'm looking right now. We actually have a spammer for errors on this. I'm trying to see what was going on with it because I am getting more hitching than I would expect. Let's see. And yes, this is one also that somebody reported and I did not get to. But I will be getting to this one also. Combat do buff. But anyways, that's slowing down the performance right here, right now. But I will be getting that cleared up for this weekend for a patch. I'm trying to see where they're at
read
right
the next
now.
set of prizes?
Yes, go for it. So it looks like they're already on wave 2 and nearly cleared out wave 2. So these guys are gonna, looks like they're probably gonna zerg right through all the waves.
All right. Well, the second round of prizing of the 4 for tonight. The ornate spider legs cloak goes to Necrodemus. Necrodemus. The spiderweb cloak goes to Lord Beowulf. The woven spiderweb cloak goes to Chaos Shadowstorm. The zombie statue goes to Bart. The rustic 2-story village home goes to Volbrig Clinking Beard. That's a nice name there, Volbrig Clinking Beard. And you are the winner of the 2-story rustic house. Congratulations to all 5 of the winners of the second round of prizing.
And yes.
Oh, and now I see people are saying, I love Paul most of all. You should have said it a little while ago, but you still have a chance to get in the next round.
And I need to do some things. And again, also, I just saw someone say, yeah, they're having lag too. If you look, there's an error spam going on right now. If you see this little number
I'm
up
sure
here.
they can all see it, but yes, the development people, like I myself, can see it now too.
Yeah.
It's a big, long bit of spew.
But anyways, that is what's causing the lag here. We actually, until this went in, and actually, if I move my hide myself down there, you can actually see there's an endless spew down here that's also.
Oh yeah.
Also twice as bad. You can see it on this screen. You can see it over here. Right in there. So that's going to be lagging me even more than the other people are being lagged. But anyways, it looks like I got something to fix again. That's why this is not live. And with that reminder, let me go through and thank people. I did just click off another one of the prize names, but let me go through and thank Lord British Rules. I'm not going to thank you again, Richard, but thank you very much. As always, thank you for joining us too. Preston Jong, thank you very much. So nice to see you here. Dave VR, thank you, Dave, for following. We always appreciate the follows. A Moldy Potato, thank you for the bits. Eileen Dragonfire, thank you for the bits. And we should plug your event tomorrow. Oh, what time is it? Do you remember, Ravalox?
Nope.
All right. Well, it should be in the update. Hopefully, it's in the update. But the big event tomorrow. I'm sure Eileen's gonna plug it here in chat in just a minute. And thank you, Mythic. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you. And I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was Vulcan Jedi who posted about the stew. I actually had forgotten about the stew. I had a bug on me, but he reminded me that he could not eat his obsidian stew, and that will be fixed in the next patch as well. Let me get through a few more of these. Thank you, Vulcan Jedi. Thank you for reminding me of the stew and also for the bits. The Mad Chef of Xenos, thank you for the bits. Lord, no more for Lord British. Blaise Garsink, thank you very much. Bodacious88, thank you very much for the bits. Malavai, thank you for the follow. Waldo Ptolemy, thank you for the bits and all the good stuff you do for the game. And Signal 151, thank you for the follow. Trokip, thank you for the bits. Ozzy Quester, Waldo again, Ehondis, Lancel, thank you for the bits, and also thank you for all the testing. Lancel and ODE were some of the people. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's some ugly air spew going on down there. Again, this scene is not live. Not
Hey,
really.
I had a question poked over here. Are there onks in the scene yet?
There are onks in the scene.
All right, cool.
There are onks all the way around the edge of the scene. It's not too far off in visuals, but it's actually a modified version of the Disboard Ruins scene. It's had, like this battle area here has been cleaned up quite a bit. There's actually a lot of changes. There is supposed to be a fog effect that's over the map. That's the permanent weather there. And I had that and I tested it. It looked great until I turned on this boss fight. And the fog effect was causing some sorting problems with the VFX from the demons and some of the other stuff. So I currently have that disabled. But that will be on soon as well. Oh look, I'm up to 32,000 errors. Is that a lot?
More than a few.
Let me finish thanking some people here. Dices, thank you very much. Ozzy Quester again. Dices, Treasure Pile, I love that name. Skeggy Media, HT Genie UK, thank you very much. Hollyhock, Lord British Rules, Ozzy Quester, Darton Obscuro of the Obscuro family, Chirokip, Grumpy Crabnavir, Waldo again, so many times, Shadow Vice, Lancel again, Sir Frank started it all off. Thank you, Sir Frank. And I'm trying to see where they are right now. Okay, the Lava Boss guy's up here. And I think he was killed once on QA, so there'll probably be a lot of skeletons around here, although it may be tough for anybody to kill or die with as much air spew as going on right now. So it looks like I'll be getting that fixed for you guys for a patch for tomorrow. And then we can try this again. So these people should have already discovered this point. So you guys who are in here right now, you can come back and join anytime you want to. Although, yeah, I'm up to 42,000 errors. That's causing a little bit of lag there. The other thing I'm seeing
Frank
is...
jumped ahead of me again.
Yep, thank you very much, Sir Frank. Oh, is there the list of who gave the most? Ah, yeah, there we go. I see it now. But again, Frank, thank you so much. Let's see. So we talked a little bit about this. So the mounts, again, there's the skills that go in there. Those are totally optional, totally for convenience. But they do cost real experience points. Let's see. We thanked QA. What else did we have on our list to do today? We've got... Do you know if Travis has checked in Alder yet?
I do not know. I know that he was still working on it as of yesterday.
All right, he's got it checked in, but it has not been added to the build. Okay, so I can't go to it just yet. Alder is the one that hopefully it'll be live on next release. That's the one that we've been posting some screenshots for. That's kind of a floating map, city in the sky type thing. I think Travis is sending me messages here telling me, don't show my map. I did, but don't show it. The lighting's all whack without my post-process settings. Yeah, he's trying to do basically new weather, lots of stuff for, including new post-processing effects for visual effects. But it will be live. Hopefully it'll be live next release. It is looking good, as you've seen from the screenshots. The other thing that will hopefully go live before next release is going to be the Shadow Boss fight, along with the polish for this one, which apparently will include these... will include fixing these error messages. Hopefully I can get that done tomorrow, though. I'm not seeing nearly enough skeletons down here.
Enough what?
Enough skeletons.
Oh.
Ah. They're already making it look... Oh, the boss isn't dead yet. Okay, never mind. So let's see. Some other stuff that's going to be coming up. Again, there's some new items that'll be going in as soon as this gets tested. Looks like, again, fixing the error on this. And then I can turn on the loot once we're sure the boss fight can't be repeated trivially. And let's see. I think we also announced that this next release coming up, Release 84, is going to be a short release for us.
Right.
because of the holidays. This happens every November, December. We have a 3-week release in November. So 3 weeks from now is when the next release goes. Because it is a short release and we are behind on a lot of bugs, starting with this one, that's now lagging everybody in the scene. We are going to take this release and try to focus purely on bugs and quality of life issues. There's going to be a few quality of life things that will come along. I'm trying to get the terrain flattening logic done. Get that finished. I've already done some prototyping on it. But get that live to you guys and figure out how we're going to hand it out to you. But for those who don't know, that's going to be a quality of life issue. That is when you're a governor, when you put stuff down, when you put decos down, if the terrain, right now we check to see if the terrain is absolutely, perfectly, completely, totally flat. This is the same thing as if you put down a lot, or you put down a stone for new players to come on. And now, of course, I want to stay here, but it's agonizing for people watching with the error spam and the 75,000 errors and the frame rate caused by the error spam.
Yeah.
So I feel like I should get out of there.
So I could talk a little bit more about the going on to the bug stuff and all that. So, definitely this next release is going to be all bugs and working on that type of stuff, quality of life. It's probably going to spill over a little bit into December because that's another short release. And the Bug Brigade is working our fingers to the bone to get all the verified issues run through intake, so that way they're into the system. So that way we'll be able to address those during this bug run. And of course, the team is seeing all this new stuff coming into the system and getting very scared. So, but we're looking to get all the bugs that are on the forums all addressed, all into the intake and showing submitted with a bug number, so that way they're in the system and in queue. Working on getting those correctly prioritized and assigned to resources, so we'll get those all sorted out and cleaned up. So be patient for the player base. Just be patient as we get that stuff through. We're going to continue working on this stuff and get it finished. We've streamlined the process for intake, so they're coming into the system a little bit faster now.
And I'm sure there's some people who don't read the chat, so I'm going to read out Eileen's plug for the event. Immortal City on Halloween, starting October 31st. That's tomorrow. Will be City of Horror and Mayhem. We have a 16-hour Immortal live stream marathon starting from noon to 4 a.m. At Slenderman Poe, at Graceful Bard, Willie Beans, Raul, lots of people there. 8 p.m. to midnight is our Halloween ball and costume contest with celebrity judges. Grand prize, 750,000 in-game gold. Do not travel alone in Mortal City. Ooh, that sounds scary. Maybe I can get them some extra. Maybe we can give them a few horses to give out or something. I'm sure that's going to be the hot gift to give away. So maybe we can give them a few horses for prizes for it. But let's see. So that's going to be happening tomorrow. We have a fishing contest we need to read out. But first, let me read out. We didn't do the third round of prizes yet, did we?
No, not yet.
I will do the third round. Ornate Spiderlegs cloak goes to Blaze Garsink. Spiderweb cloak goes to Aristodemus. Woven Spiderweb cloak goes to Boz Cognan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Zombie statue goes to Rage. Rustic two-story village home goes to Rinaldi. We have one more round to go here, which has already been pulled up there. If we'll let Richard read the last one just before we go out, because we've got to do the fishing contest stuff. We didn't get to any questions yet. Maybe I'll pull just one or two questions. If not, I am going to be on... who am I on next week? I think I'm on Silver's thread, or Silver's stream. I was supposed to be on it on Thursday, but we had too many bugs to fix. So it looks like they have not. So there's actually a secret to beating this boss. So I'm glad that it did not go as trivially as people wanted it to. And I'm glad to see some skeletons here. But there's actually a couple of secrets to beating the boss. I think somebody did already kill him, so I think they kind of already know. I think I might have given them a hint in the QA server, so they'll figure it out. Oh wait, I think I might be able to fix some of my lag here. I think I just saw something. Hold on, let me try something real quick.
Fix the bugs, just, magically. They're magically delicious.
Bugs.
Nope, didn't work. Okay. One other thing is spamming. It's running out of audio memory in addition to the other stuff. But anyways, that's. I don't think that's a server-wide thing. I think that's just in here that there's a bug going on with the skill use that I think one of these guys is using. So I'll get it fixed. But there's the slideshow at 10 frames a second. That does not even look like 10 frames a second. That does look like a lot of combat spew going on too. All right, let's see. So I'm trying to think what other things we have coming up. We got a bunch of stuff in this release. Of course, the mounts. The thing to look for with mounts, we will probably be adding. This is one of the most requested things. And I'm going to actually zone out of here. I'm tired of being a slow frame rate. But we will be adding some more mounts. The most requested ones are things like wolves and sheep. I think that's actually Jack and somebody else requesting a sheep so they can ride a sheep. I'm not sure. Hold on. Try and get out of here so my brain will stop being freaked out by the slowness. Okay, they're good. Now I crash after generating 113,000 errors and trying to. But yes, so those will be coming. We're looking at which ones are the ones that match up most closely with the horse. The challenge with doing a few of them, like the bears is one that we've looked at, that will definitely not be in the first round that we do. It's a different animation set and it's a different size width. And right now we only have one riding width that's kind of set for horses. So you can imagine if you try to ride with that same seating style on a bear or something really wide, that it's going to be a problem for them. Sorry, my fish were making noise. And yes, so now my attempt to get out of the lag frame rate area has crashed my client. I'll just pretend that everything's normal and going on just fine in the background there. Nice smooth frame rate. You don't see any hitching at all. But anyway, so yes, so big cats. There we go. Big cats will probably be one. Mechanical cats is probably will be the quicker one just because we already have that. The wolves is going to be another one that'll probably be coming quick. Llamas is another one that I keep hearing people say that they really want to ride a llama. So there's going to be a lot of those type things that'll come up. We've got the Christmas season coming up, so we'll probably add in a few here and there just over time and possibly make a few more that are tameable creatures that you can convert into it. So we will see. The other thing we've talked about doing, which is still very possible, and we will probably get it in, I'm not going to say when, is the just for fun jousting. Wow, I'm not sure what that is. But the just for fun jousting, which is basically you charge at somebody else, and it's a timing element to knock them off their horse. That still is something that feels very doable. You guys can get used to how the horses go, but that basically will be using a charged attack to try and knock somebody else off their horse. Let's see. And sorry if I seem a little fried this week. It's because I'm a little fried this week. And thank you, Dark and Obscure. That reminds me, there are 3 people I have packages in the mail for. I mention it because I think one of them is out there now. I think, I'm trying to remember, Koldar, Mitch, and Sagewise, I think were the 3 that I packed up things for, that are all people I owed stuff to. So you were one of the people, those are 3 people that were not boxes. They won prizes in the past or were supposed to have been given something in the past. They did not get them. So I finally got those together and got those packed up for you guys. So you can expect those probably next week, assuming the mail is still working. Since we haven't done it yet and I haven't made it over the questions, and before I go to the questions real quick and try to just grab a couple real quick, let me remind people to stay home. This is my usual pandemic talk, but the pandemic is actually spiking right now, and it's actually, I think there were 91,000 new cases today. It was the high by far. Both the 7-day trend is higher than it's been during any time previously in the pandemic. Unfortunately, the death rate is also going up. Please stay home and play our game, ride your horses around. That's all the outside stuff you need to do. Okay, maybe go get some exercise.
That advice.
But anyways, definitely stay home, be safe right now more than ever. Now, I'll also say the next part, which will conflict with that other part, which is go vote. This is not me trying to push my politics on you. I'm just telling you guys to go vote. Make sure you get out and vote. Hopefully you voted early. If you've not voted early, make sure and take precautions and expect some long lines. So, but do your patriotic duty. Get out there. Do not spam my chat with names of people, or you'll probably get bumped for 24 hours or a week or something. But anyways, guys, definitely go vote. Let me pull up the question list here now that we have 5 minutes left. Richard, do you want to read off the last
I will read off
thing?
the last one
And I'm going to give Ravalox, your assignment's going to be to read off the fishing.
Yep.
Okay, let me do the prizing first, just because I have a Domino's pizza for my kids about to show up, and I want to make sure I don't run off in the middle of chatting. On the round 4 of the prize bot says that the ornate spider legs cloak goes to Jarvi Mistara. The spiderweb cloak goes to Drithen Midnight. The woven spiderweb cloak goes to Radicus. The zombie statue will go to Twilight Tempest. And the rustic stew's 2-story village home goes to Gwendolyn Obscuro. Gwendolyn Obscuro and everybody else, all 5 of you, congratulations on winning round 4 of the prizing.
Yay.
All right, well,
There's much rejoicing.
People got distracted, so there's not that many questions, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get through a few of these important ones. One is from Sean Butts, who is a broken record and should be a broken record. We have not forgotten about the API. For those who didn't hear, the API executed a CFAB instruction, which is still my joke that apparently I'm the only one that thinks it's funny, because I'm one of the few people out there who knows what assembly instruction looks like, but it sounds like an assembly instruction, but actually means catch, fire, and burn instruction. That machine imploded.
And pardon me, I have to cut out because the Domino's guy's at the door. So apologies. Right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Richard. Thanks for joining us tonight. Enjoy your horse. But the API server actually kernel panicked, for those who know Linux stuff, and the box died. We have not been able to recover it, but we have all the stuff. It is actually set up to be fairly easy to publish. There are just a few missing things. Undone has promised that he's going to get it done this next week. So we put that on our list for this next month, since it's a catch-up and recover bug. So the API hopefully will be up by the end of next week. We're going to have it on a better box. More importantly, it will be set up in the backup routine. If you didn't hear, we have 28 machines. 27 of them were on backup. Now we'll have 28 out of 28 on backup. I see the Mad Chef of Xenos is asking, any thoughts on horse meat recipes? Yeah, I want to get a bunch of recipes in. That's one of the things I've been pushing Elgarion to do. You guys will probably see him transitioning away from doing full-time community stuff and other stuff and start transitioning into doing a lot of crafting stuff and recipe stuff. Just because he's got really good in-game skill, and he's actually shown to be super skilled at doing that stuff. And we'll backfill him over time with community stuff. But he will probably be taking over some of that stuff, so he's now the guy to start requesting recipes and tweaks and stuff like that from. Let's see. Christ Palette, is it possible to make the trees in-game leaves change colors during the fall? You know what? It actually wouldn't be that hard. We actually have seasonal trees that we have already in the project, but the problem is in some scenes we use we always have the fall trees in there, and some we always have the winter bare trees in there. I think if I were back in the breach, you would see there's a lot of trees there that are bare, that are different trees that are from what was before. So that's one of those where a lot of the scenes are forced to use a certain season just because that was the look we wanted. But some of them do have like the reds and those type things. Now that would be something that we could do for player trees, is we could have a player trees that could turn and would just change with the season and just pick which mesh, because we do already have, it's just basically a texture swap for the tree that it could change with the season of the year. So that's actually a pretty cool idea. That'd be a nice one to get in there. Let's see. Apologies. Eileen Dragonfire asked if we plan on making intoxication effects an option. Yes, intoxication effects, that's actually one that got broke along the way with some of the food stuff. It is on my list. I did not consider it critical since it's kind of a fun thing and doesn't really break any gameplay stuff. But I do want to get it in there if you guys are brewing stuff and you're at parties. I know it's critical if you're at a party. That whole blurry screen thing is pretty important. Let's see. Mad Chef Xenos wants to know if you can fight mounted position, if that's in the plan. That is not in the plan in the short term. That may be something that we add in the long term. In the short term, we're doing what we looked at a ton of other games, and it's pretty much what almost all the games out there do, which is you do not fight mounted. There's a lot of complications from it, and it's one of those things where, just like getting the horses, getting the mounted stuff in, super easy to get it in initially, and then you spend the next, 3 man-months or whatever fixing the little bugs and getting it polished. When we move to the combat stuff, it's even more of that, because there's a lot of stuff that, we do have most of our animations are broken up between upper torso and legs and waist, and like where the pivot parts are, but there's still a lot of bugs that come up with it. It's one that it's not out of the question in the really long term, but it's not something that's going to happen this year for sure. Vulcan Jedi, I patched up and tried. Yes, so your bug is checked in now. This build is actually the one that just went live. 1300 is the one from last night that we did not get live until just now. Yours will be in the next build that'll probably come out tomorrow morning-ish. Tomorrow before noon is probably where you should look for it. Let's see. Master Elis, will you add the breakdown of crafted gems soon? Yes, so this is something I've been looking at, and it's the breakdown of crafted gems. Okay, I'm sorry, my brain was going to my other thing that I've been working on and poking at, which is socketing of items. So the breakdown of crafted gems is one that I know we've got. Do you know if we have a JIRA for it already? I don't think it's that much time, but it's...
No, 100% on that one.
Okay. It's one that we've talked about before in letting players break down the gems. But that does remind me to mention the socketing stuff, because that's what I was looking at for the new items that I've added this time around, is making them so they can be salvaged and taken down to a item that can be socketed. But one of the things I've been looking at is right now, of course, you can only socket a few pieces, making it so more pieces are socketable. And that will come with some things that you can tear down, you'll only be able to put in certain sockets. So that's something you can look at, but I was working through that and trying to figure out what the mechanics of that would be. But it basically will just, you'll be able to socket your boots, but there'll be only certain things that can go into socketed boots, and that'll be one of the ones. This is probably, and again, I've got to work through and see how it fits with the existing items. This is probably how you'll be able to tear down artifacts and then get things that can be socketed. I'm not going to say that they're gems that can be socketed, but parts that can be socketed. But that's one of the things that will be coming soon that I've already started looking at, and I tried to make sure I had a concept for these new items that I made, what they would turn into and what the effect would be. Because again, you're not going to break down the belt of the dedicated, which is one of the new items that's coming out, and you get the exact stats from the belt of the dedicated. It's going to give you something that has the feeling of something very similar effect to the belt of the dedicated. Let's see.
I made a note about that, so I'll talk to you offline.
And there's more questions here, but we are getting past time, and we still have to do the fishing tournament. You ready?
Yep, and I also want to go over some stuff real quick with bug reporting as well. So,
okay, go for it.
All right.
All you.
So bug reporting first. So when you go in and do bugs, make sure you use /bug template. When you're in game, just do /bug. It'll bring you over to the forums, and you just do a Control-V to paste into the new thread the information that the game supplies to you. This helps us speed up the process of working on the bug, getting the bug in, and properly triaging the bug as well. So if you use those templates, it's going to help us a lot. On the QA server, it's a /dev bug. It's actually, these commands are actually indicated on the forums as well, so it's not just me telling you now. It's written down in a few places, and I think I even have it in the message of the day on the QA server to remind you that it's different than the live. It will be very helpful to do that. Be sure to include as much detail as possible when you're reporting bugs, how to reproduce the problem, if needed, a couple of steps, that type of thing. It helps guide us, that way we won't have to go back and ask you guys more questions to try to figure out what's going on. The other thing is that bugs are getting fixed, and we update the forums to say that it's fixed and needs testing. So we're reaching out to the community, and we're looking for people to actually test these things out, help us along, and it again speeds up the process of getting them out of the forums, so that way we can see the new bugs and everything up there. Reduce the stuff that everybody has to sift through, right? Let me see if there's anything else in here. That's yeah, I do. Please don't post like it's still broken posts in the threads. If something's submitted, it's in queue, it's going to be worked on. We know it's still broken. We will update the thing to indicate that it's been fixed, and again, we're going to get better patch notes, right, Chris? And we'll move on from there. But please don't flood the threads with extraneous information, comments and stuff like that. We're working on it. Once we get the backlog cleared out, I think everybody's going to be really happy with the turnaround time. So with that said, I will go on to the fishing results.
Go for it. I do have two things I want to throw in before you do the fishing results, since that's usually what we close out on. One, they're saying they couldn't kill the lava guy because they couldn't get him below a certain health. I think that is not a bug with his health. I think that's just a bug with the frame rate from that exception that was happening to you guys. If you saw how long it took me to zone, that is piling up tons and tons of garbage for you guys in your memory. So you're until they get that fixed. Oh, they say he's gone. They killed him. So never mind that. There wasn't a bug. But anyways, yeah, he does have a really high regen rate. You will have 0 chance of killing him unless you make sure and keep all of your health debuffs, your regen debuffs on him. One more thing I want to throw out real quick before I forget, as I'm sitting here thinking why I was so incredibly busy this week. The other thing we started up that I've had people ask about in past streams is, why don't you send out newsletters anymore through email? Hey, guess what we did? We sent out an email through newsletter through email to over 130,000 people on our list who are still current. So that actually went out just today. We've been seeing great open rates on that. So that's another thing that we expect to be drawing some people into the game over the weekend. So maybe you'll see some old faces coming in, but that's starting this weekend. Hopefully we'll be seeing some more people pouring in. I didn't see how many, but it was like 7,000 people had opened it or clicked it. So good stuff. If you are not if you were expecting to get a newsletter email and you did not, that is probably because I took our email list because it hadn't been used in 6 months. And emails have a pretty limited lifespan in terms of like turnover and people changing emails and emails going dead, which can cause problems with sending out the emails where you'll get blocked and you'll get flagged as spam. The more that happens. So I actually ran the email through an email cleaner. If you did not get an email and you weren't expecting it, it's because some email program thought you were trash. I'm sorry. But that is going on now, and that so far the new service we're using Send in Blue, which has been great. They didn't throttle us at all. They sent like 130,000 emails, giving really good metrics on everything. So that's going again in terms of getting people back into the game for the holidays. Okay, now you can go for your fishing stuff. Oh, I do have one more thing I want to tell, which I was trying to remember also why I'm so frazzled, and I always tell at least one Maxine story, so this will be my Maxine story that's quick. we went to bed. It's been cold here in Texas. Weird, I know, right? Not real cold, but like get down to the 40 range. As you imagine, a 6-year-old skinny girl gets cold really easily. The last night, I don't know, maybe midnight, I was like, man, it sure feels hot. We must have like left the door closed. And I got up to open the door to our bedroom thinking it was just that and bad circulation, whatever. Then like laid in bed, and around 2 o'clock I was awake again, just dripping sweat, and I noticed my wife was also like throwing the sheets off, and I was like, what is going on? I got up, went down to the thermostat, and someone had turned the thermostat up to 90. It was 87 in the house because someone got cold and they went and turned up the thermostat. I think she heard me talking about her. So anyway, so if I'm more frazzled than normal, even for a normal release week, that's a good chunk of why, because I did not get any sleep that night and finally just gave up and slept less than 2 hours and got up and started the day. So, okay, now you can tell the fishing story.
All right. I lost a couple of nights of sleep this week, actually, but that was more of the fact that I was really excited on the scene that I'm working on.
Oh, the Frank scene.
Yeah. So I'm making a lot of progress on it, and I've actually worked with Sanyo today for a while to go over some stuff and some standards that we have in the game and everything, and see if there were any questions I had, stuff like that. So I'm going to probably meet with him every once in a while to spin up on that. And of course, I'm going to be meeting with Travis List when the scene is near completion to go over everything with him as well. So it's coming along. Actually, I got the terrain all set the way I want it now, so things are going to go a lot quicker, I think.
Sweet.
Okay, fishing results for week 25. So I'm still getting used to this format here. All right, so in an alligator gar was caught at size of 2.576 ambiguous units in Dwaynor by Robert Frost. And that was for the Pot Towns, player-owned town, large gold fishing trophy. Lord Beowulf caught a 2.377 ambiguous unit King Salmon in Cass Ruins. And he got a large silver fishing trophy and 2 chained obsidian shard 3-packs. And a Coelacanth was caught at 2.701 ambiguous units by Leilu Listwander in Crawl. They got a lava fishing rod of prosperity and a large bronze fishing trophy. So congratulations to everybody who's won stuff. The fishing tournament goes on a weekly basis. The new one started today. And the pot towns that are now involved this week are Salem, Crystal Cove, and Cottage Grove. Good luck to everybody.
And I saw someone say, thanks for bringing us together to try the scene. So again, for those who saw the scene, there's an exception in one of the new skills I added for one of the guys. That was what was causing the endless spam that was destroying performance as well. I actually did a lot of performance work on the scene to make sure that fight scene stayed pretty good, and I think it was running in the 30 frames per second range, even at the peak nastiness the other day on QA when we were running it. So I will get that cleaned up and get that fixed for you guys so that it's not spammy. But that will be live. Hopefully I can get that fixed tomorrow for a build tomorrow by lunchtime-ish. And let's see. Let me check one more time in the questions, see if anything critical comes in that needs a big reminder. I will remind you tomorrow. 16-hour marathon for Halloween. You can talk to Eileen Dragonfire. You'll also see lots of ads for it on Facebook. It should be in our newsletter and also in chat here. And let's see. Dyeable Leather I have questions for. Land Flatteners, Irish Eyes. The land flatteners are not out yet. That's one of the things I was saying I was doing this release as one of the it's a new feature, but it's a quality of life feature. If you're someone who's been a governor or you've tried to place stuff, in a town, you help out a governor, you know the agony of, I should be able to place this here, why can I not place this here? And it'll always be because there's just like a little tiny bump. But the land flatteners, hopefully I will get them done for R84 as my one quality of life contribution. We're also going to have a meeting on Tuesday. Wizard Smoke's going to be talking about quality of life UI stuff, so we can start looking at some of the alphabetizing, sorting, and filtering of different stuff. We have a couple of different systems that were in there, and these are for different recipe books and quest books, and also hopefully some sort filtering stuff for emails, so you start typing and it'll filter your available people to what you type. But those type things will be the type things we'll be doing. Those will be the new features. There's not going to be any big thing like mounts, but there's going to be hopefully a lot of quality of life stuff like that in there. And then back in December, we'll get back to trying to get a few new features in. There may be the one new scene that'll come out, the Alder scene in R84, but honestly, since it's a 3-week release, I wouldn't even count on that being done in R84. All right, my throat's dying on me here, so I think we better go. Did you do the Elgarion job and find somebody to raid? Wah,
No.
wah, wah. All right, let's see.
Are you check now, or is that
All right, I've got my speaker on there. Let's see, we got Silvertree, who I will be on next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Silverthorn? I'm trying to remember what I said. Silvertree. Again, my brain is fried. It's been a long week, folks. I think I was on chat from 4 a.m. till 9 or 10 p.m. every night, or every day this week. Good times. We have Treylana and we have Last Diameter. I'm going to be on Silvertree, so I don't want to play two favorites. So the Last Diameter or Treylana. Let's see.
I'd say we'll throw Last Diameter. He's got one viewer right now.
One viewer. Let me see if there's a followers you guys have. They say Treylana. New streamer Treylana. Okay, Treylana's a new streamer. I was going to say, I don't think I've seen that name before. All right. Last Diameter, we'll get you another time. I think I've rated you before that. We're going to give Treylana. Give Treylana a raid here. I'm exhausted, guys. Okay, well, I got a few more bugs fixed. We're getting pretty close. Blood Omen says, show chaos love. There was supposed to be some new chaos stuff going in for the scene for the breach, because as you saw, there's a lot of demons in there. I was actually working on some new chaos skills for the demons that I was going to see if I could work that over to be a player skill as well. But right now, the ones that are already added are already exceptioning and making the frame rate drop to 5 frames per second or whatever. So let me get the slideshow stuff fixed, then maybe I can get some of that other stuff done as polish for that scene. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry if I've seen a little burned out, a little frazzled. It's because I've been burned out, a little frazzled from this week. But I'm happy the release is going pretty darn well. The mounts seem to be going well. Again, the breach, I'll get a little more polish done on it, and we will get it live with actual loot sometime next week. And guys, again, thank you. Stay safe. Go vote. And be good to your friends. Eileen Dragonfire, thank you very much. And one more plug for Eileen tomorrow, like noon until like 4 a.m. or something crazy like that. They're going to be partying all day long. We are not taking our 6-year-old out trick-or-treating just because we're super paranoid. But if you are doing the same, staying home, sounds like a good thing. Keep it on the background. You can at least listen to the DJing going on. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
See ya. Okie dokie.